Hello everyone. Welcome back to the stream. Let me go ahead and get that in chat for you. There we go. Come on. Send. There. That was Imperium of Man by Jonathan Young, a Warhammer 40k song. And if that song gets enough views, he'll make a full Warhammer 40k album, which, based on that song, I am absolutely in favor of. Anyway, let me bring the game up, then I'll bring you in. Yeah. You. Not that. You. There we go on that. Let the game load up. Oh. OBS. Do you not want to? Oh, it normally does this like on the load-in or something, doesn't it? I hope. If it gets the actual game and it's not on OBS yet, then I'll just go ahead and deactivate, reactivate Windows, see if that works. Good old stream scuff. Loading in. There we go. Okay. You? Up. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing, aren't I? Yeah, I'm on the wrong OBS scene. Okay, there we go. Let me go ahead and bring you in. Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. I'm Peter Moxilin, Keeper Emeritus. And of course, YouTube decides that I was being too quiet. There we go. Okay, cool. So I've not done my daily stuff yet, but we are on stream, so it is Archon quest time. Back over to you. Focused mode. Yes. Okay, back over to whatever the hell this is gonna be. Last time we went to the Night Kingdom and the Sorry, not the Archon. The conceptual idea of the Archon or something like that punched a hole in reality. It was kind of a weird ending, I'll be honest. Hold on. I think my phone just told me that I went live. Let me check. Yep. Cool. Anyway. I'm not sure that I've changed the audio back since the last time either. Oh, hey, chest.
Ooh, what a pleasant surprise. Truly an extra slice of joy.
Yeah, I'll leave it as it is. Let me know if it's, like, horribly wrong or something. Lower. Lower. There's literally a teleport point for this. You. So, we got her, right? Also, I guess this is where this room was. Neat.
Huh. There's a lot less stuff here than before.
Yeah. What's up with that?
It's good to see you all here in one piece. I know you must have a lot of questions, but let Koichi check you over first. It's best not to let any lingering effects of the Abyss go untreated.
Thank goodness you made it back. I came here as soon as the Pyro Archon told me about your plan. Take a seat, everybody. I'll examine you one by one.
Despite the short stint in the Night Kingdom, Mulanni and the others all have some degree of abyssal contamination. Why do we fight the Abyss in the Night Kingdom? Like, I'm not sure they ever actually described that. Also, Natlan, have you not developed any kind of abyssal contamination reduction technology or anything? Like, you've been doing this for long enough that I would think you would have some kind of, like, anti-contamination suit or something to that effect. Click, okay. Apparently click on the thing. But thanks to Koichi's extensive experience treating abyssal contamination, the harmful effects will not be permanent. Oh, how convenient, aside from the effects on her sister, assumedly. The treatment also relieves Kachina's symptoms. How she's still fine, I have no idea.
All right, that should do it for now. But just to be safe, I'll perform another checkup in a couple of days.
So I guess abyssal contamination is something that you can fully get rid of? Because they seem to indicate a little bit ago that once you're infected, like, you stay slightly infected forever. Like, that's why the hero guy's sacrifice was kind of weirdly muted. Like, okay, you're just infected for all of time now. Good luck with that.
I have to say, though, I've never seen anyone react to the Abyss like you, Traveler. It's like you're completely immune to its power.
She's always been special like that. She can even purify its power. Wait, now that you mention it, Paimon doesn't think she's affected either.
We don't know why, though.
Given the current situation, that ability will likely play a great role in the events to come.
Of course. I still have patients to see, so I'll head out.
I mean, you're standing next to someone who can neutralize the power of the Abyss. I feel like you would want us as an assistant immediately to just insta-treat all of your patients.
Thank you, Koichi.
All right, all right. We might not see eye to eye, but we both had good intentions. Just give it time. I'm sure we'll figure things out between us one day.
Oh, you are so dead, aren't you? Like, you have a unique character design, but you don't seem to have any kind of vision, and you're talking like that? Oh, you're gonna be the sacrifice to help save everyone else.
Yeah.
All right. There's so much to discuss, I don't even know where to begin. You've seen it for yourselves now. The devastation in the Night Kingdom.
I mean, I don't know what it looked like before, so... if you say so.
I'll get straight to the point. Natlan is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible our nation has less than a year before total devastation.
How convenient for this game having a X.0 update basically on every anniversary.
Huh? No. That can't be true, can it?
Less than a year. So we got plenty of time to go fuck around with summer events and such. Cool.
That's right. But I've only ever disclosed that fact to the handful of people working with me to save this nation.
Such as the 3 other characters we've met, probably.
Our looming destruction is not a recent development, but the inevitable conclusion of the disaster the Abyss initiated 500 years ago.
Why do only a handful of people know about this, then? If this is something that the Archon always knew about, which is kind of the implication of her knowing all of this specifically, then it seems like organizing, I don't know, a battalion worth of insiders in order to fight back against the plan would be a good idea. Ain't that right, Fontaine?
Mulan told us a little bit about that.
500 years ago, all the nations of Teyvat were invaded by the Abyss.
Yeah, what was it doing before that, by the way? Did the Abyss exist before that point?
Unlike the other nations, Natlan never had stable and deep-rooted ley lines, so we suffered the worst of the invasion.
I do not know how that tracks. Like, I don't know enough to say that it doesn't. But why do stable and deep-rooted ley lines mean less abyssal invasion? Is it like more power to call on from the ley lines to power up all your various magics so that you can fight back harder? Whereas Natlan just had like its people and their power?
The battle against the Abyss was exceedingly long and brutal. In the end, victory came at the cost of our civilization and countless lives.
Your civilization looks like it's still here. Wait. No, I can justify this. Because it might be that the civilization of Natlan died with the abyssal invasion, and that's what fractured them into the, 6 or whatever tribes, who have then kind of come back together in at least a coalition of a nation in the closer to modern day.
Even then, It took centuries of solving the disasters caused by the Abyss to finally achieve the peace we know today.
So why didn't the Abyss win in the meantime? Like, it's attacking all the damn time nowadays. Did the Abyss take 2 or 3 centuries off even with its plan?
And still, this is but a superficial victory. The forces of the Abyss have merely been driven back underground. Their threat to Natlan remains as real as ever.
You hear that, Kachina? Saving you is a superficial victory. I know that's not what they mean, but that's kinda how it comes across.
I'd never have guessed.
The problems plaguing the Night Kingdom are all the more complicated because that realm is essentially functioning as Natlan's ley lines.
Okay, that actually does go away to explain why the Night Kingdom is involved here, as well as why warriors from Natlan might go to the Night Kingdom to fight the Abyss. Because if the Night Kingdom is acting as the ley lines, then Natlan warriors will be significantly powered up there because they have access to, effectively, ley lines. If, again, we are assuming that the deep-rooted ley lines of other nations gave them the power to up their magic to fight back against the Abyss. Still working under that as an assumption, because it literally doesn't make sense to me otherwise.
Immediately after the war, our calculations estimated that we would have a maximum of 500 years before the Night Kingdom was completely lost to the Abyss.
What the fuck calculation did you run? Like, what equation did you start up to figure that out? I guess maybe, like, the trend of increasing abyssal power, maybe, if you can quantify that. Also, are we on, like, exactly 500 years, then? Also, is this supposed to be exactly 500 years? Like, maximum 500, aka 501, is impossible. I kind of figured when the disaster... I kind of figured that when the Conria disaster happened 500 years ago, they were ballparking that to, like, a decade or two, probably. I didn't think it was literally 500 years on the dot.
But at that time, we were a nation of the destitute. Our people no longer believed in victory, nor did they hold hope for the future. Our civilization was dying, our faith crumbling, and the line of power passed down from the Wyab nearly severed. If we didn't bring the nation back together, it would be foolish to even dream of defeating the Abyss in the future. So, the Archon had a long and involved discussion with the heroes of each tribe, and finally came up with a 500-year-long plan to save Natlan.
I now assume that when, Mavuika, yeah, sure, why not? I now assume that when she took the role of Archon, her first response was to come into this room, scream, slam her head down on the desk, and just sigh, knowing that she was going to be the one that has to see the end of a 5 centuries long plan.
So that's what happened.
At least Farina got, like, the emotional trauma of doing it all herself, like it was just on her. Mavukia just, like, I guess I'm the Archon now. Oh, god damn it!
After finding Gachina, I encountered a strange figure who gave me a series of new memories.
Oh yeah, that.
Since the plan was mentioned in those memories, I guess I've been chosen to play an important role in it. But there's still something I don't understand. Those memories showed me the Pyro Archon from back then. And it was you.
I don't think we knew that.
Huh? But that doesn't make any sense. The Pyro Archon is supposed to be human. It's impossible for a human to live that long.
Paimon, you've met Farina. Like, I get that she's split from, oh god, what was the other one's name? She split from Hydro Archon, whatever her name is again. I get that she's a special case, but she is supposed to technically be human. So my guess is that as the Pyro Archon inhabits the human host, she slowly shifts over to being how she looks at the moment, maybe?
That's right. The hardest thing for humans to overcome has always been time. Or rather, the natural limitations of our lifespan.
Yeah, welcome to say that. If something ain't 3 centuries old, it's basically a newborn.
A god can extend a human's life by using a certain amount of divine power, or subjecting them to a curse.
They are about to reference Farina, probably.
But, as we all know, Natlan doesn't have gods like that. We can only rely on our own methods.
I mean, the Archon is a god, though, aren't they? So the Archon could then extend the human host's life by curse or blessing or whatever?
A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. 500 years ago, I placed my life within the sacred flame.
Your life meaning Mavuika? Or the Pyro Archon?
Only by dying before my time could I have the chance to wake up again.
So, in other words, this is your second life?
Oh, okay. So they aren't doing like a continuous thing where she has been the Pyro Archon for the past 500 years. It's that the Pyro Archon of 500 years ago sacrificed herself early to get another chance now at the end of the plan. Okay, that's a little better than I expected, actually.
Yes. We only managed to defeat the Abyss all those years ago because the tribes came together as one. If the Natlan of the future was to have a fighting chance, the Pyro Archons that came after the war had to rebuild the decimated tribes. The goal was to reunite the people and restore the strength of each tribe's Wayab. Once a tribe was back to its full strength, the tribe's Wayab would select a hero, indicating the tribe was once again ready for war.
And we're just gonna hope all of the Wayabs decided to choose a hero of the same generation. Otherwise, oh god, we're kinda fucked.
The Chosen would then stand by my side in defense of our nation, just like great heroes of old, 500 years ago.
So that means I'm one of the Chosen?
That's right. You bear the ancient name Umoja, the same one held by the hero from your tribe 500 years ago. It means unity.
I get what they're gonna do here. Like, the ancient names of the heroes have persisted ever since, and so the same ancient name 500 years later now becomes the new hero. I was kinda hoping it would be a new generation, though. Like, it is completely divested from the original heroes, but the original heroes still recognize the new generation, their replacements, etc., etc.
After your adventure in the Night Kingdom, I trust you've come to fully understand the meaning of that name.
So in other words, you always knew who the Wayab were going to pick from each tribe?
As in the Wayab picking a hero, yes. The Wayab picking each ancient name bearer, I don't think is included in there. Like, Mavuika didn't know that Mualani would be picked, but she knew that the ancient name Unity would eventually bear a new hero at this time.
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. But something went wrong along the way. The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago, but the intel regarding the plan wasn't passed on to them. Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night Kingdom. Communication between the Sacred Flame and the Wayab has been blocked.
Just like how the Ode of Resurrection failed to bring Kachina back.
Exactly. It's just another tactic the Abyss is using against us. The Abyss may not possess intelligence, but its methods certainly aren't easy to counter.
Yeah, I'd still just kind of ignore that point. Like, if it doesn't possess intelligence, then it's doing some really weird shit.
If we want to unblock that information from being passed on, my presence alone isn't enough. The ancient name-bearer must establish a greater connection to their name.
Yeah, just tell me the ancient names and I'll go do some side quests for ya.
So, I've tried my best to help them from the sidelines. Currently, Shilonin of the Children of Echoes, Kinich of the Scions of the Canopy, and Iansan of the Collective of Plenty have all been acknowledged by their names. During your adventure, you too earned the acknowledgement of your Wayab Mualani. In the process, you gained the memories stored within your name.
So is Kachina going to be one of these two, or no? And no, Kachina's from the same tribe as you. And you are either on the current banner or just ended banner, so you're probably going to get really important in the next version update. From, next version update from where we currently are. We have these two left.
But we have less than a year.
I mean, if we just gotta go tell them that they're heroes and get them through a training arc, we got time. That's gonna take, what, 6 months tops?
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the heroes have been gathered.
Can you tell us the plan, then? If it's just go beat up the Abyss, but with some really strong people, then, I have issues, but fine. Is there more to it?
That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the urgency of the situation.
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me about my role in all this? Wouldn't that make everything go a lot faster?
Perhaps, but the opposite could also be true. Knowing your destiny too early could mean failing to realize your full potential.
Would you like to justify that point?
Just like your determination to save Kachina, I hope your commitment to this endeavor comes from your own strength of will, rather than a sense of obligation.
I get the point that it's, getting it through your own strength of will is better than knowing that it's your destiny, and so just relying on that. Given that things are behind schedule and we have less than a year before your nation is literally destroyed, maybe just go ahead and tell the others. If they haven't awakened to their hero stuff yet, maybe letting them know will be the push they need to go train a little harder, look inward more. Yes, there is the risk of them getting self-absorbed and relying on their destiny. Look, we'll take the slight power boost over the full power boost if it means all 6 are here instead of 4. We can iron out any issues once they know that they're important and should be around this area.
So I suppose you're not going to tell us who the final 2 heroes are then?
Oh, please do!
That's right.
God damn.
Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand will only hinder their development.
How about you tell us who they are so that we can go help them? Hey, person, I'm doing a commission in this area. Would you like to help out with defeating a giant monster that I cannot handle on my own? But what if they don't make it in time?
I can only trust in the judgment of the Wayab.
I feel like I could clown on this plan all day if I really wanted to. I'll stop.
I have never believed I could solve this crisis alone. In fact, it was precisely because I chose to trust and rely on others that we managed to get this far. Natlan's salvation lies not in its Archon or any singular individual, but in us all.
The hell are these choices? Does that mean you?
You're quite perceptive, aren't you? I thought I might get away with avoiding the topic.
What, the fact that you're depowered? I don't even see how that connects to the previous points. I guess we're down 1 fighter, kind of.
Huh? Oh, right! All of the stuff you stored here before, where did it all go?
Okay, I guess we're bringing that up now.
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed a contingency plan to ensure you would make it back from the Night Kingdom. After all, I was the one who allowed you to take that risk, and Mualani has an important role to play in my plan.
So did you sacrifice your memories, or did you hold a garage sale?
In addition to their sentimental value, the items I stored here held a much more important purpose. Fuel.
Fuel? So back then, that's why you...
Yes. The stories embodied by those items are certainly important, but there's an even more significant trait they all share. Every item belonged to a hero of Natlan. Over time, they became imbued with a certain amount of contending fire from being carried in battle.
This is the first we're hearing that these things were carried into battle. Like, the fisherman dude carried that into battle? I suppose battle with a fish, yeah. I can't entirely deny it, I guess.
On their own, each item's power is limited. But together, their combined effect can prove quite useful in a dire situation. By burning those items, I was able to activate the contending fire stored within them to open the boundary between the two worlds. It was a rather crude approach, so all their power was depleted in an instant, as you can see.
I might have done this a little differently so that the room wasn't so clean, but instead, like, streaked in ash or something. Like, scorch marks all around.
But aren't they all precious treasures? What about their stories?
Just memory now. The objects being burned to save us was the greatest purpose they could serve.
That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what, I never wanted the Pyro Archon to have to use that power. Oh, I'm so sorry.
So it doesn't require objects from heroes, though, because Atea's brooch, or whatever it was, could also be used. And she obviously wasn't one of the heroes, because same tribe as Mualani, and basically same generation. Definitely different ancient name then.
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all deserve my thanks, actually. If you hadn't saved the totem pole, that area of the Night Kingdom would have been forever lost to the Abyss. And then, it would only be a matter of time before the Children of Echoes was met with disaster. Besides, when those heroes entrusted their belongings to me, or the Pyro Archon of their time, it was out of a desire to contribute to Natlan's survival. If they knew those items helped save the present-day heroes of Natlan, they would not mourn their loss.
Even when you put it that way, I still feel bad.
There's no need. Remember what I told you about time? The people and the events of the past are never truly lost to us. We simply carry them with us in a different form. In that sense, we didn't lose anything at all. If you still have regrets, let them fuel your resolve in the battles to come. Your deeds will become new legends and nurture new forms of power just like the items once stored here.
Then in 500 years... that might not help, actually. Well, don't think about it too much.
Well, we'd still like to return the favor.
Well, if that's the case, just treat me to a drink sometime.
I mean, actually, wouldn't the flower in our hair or something to that effect have a ton of contending fire or equivalent then?
Now that Kachina has returned, we can finally hold the victory feast and celebrate your team's triumph in the Night Warden Wars. And we could all use the rest, that's for sure. Plus, you'll be able to silence everyone who doubted you once and for all, Kachina.
Still, now that I know the danger we're facing, having a victory feast doesn't feel right.
Try not to let it get to you. It's important to stay calm. Worrying about it will only affect your judgment. All right. You should head out. I'll join you in a bit.
Oh? Going into her memories?
When I was young, I used to sit by the hot springs and listen to the stories of warriors from all over Natlan. They attract people from all walks of life. Friends come easy here, no matter what tribe you're from. The people of the springs have never claimed the hot springs as their own private property. They are there to bring all hot spring buddies together.
Did you die off screen or something? Last we heard of you, you were still alive.
It's been really nice, seeing the children of my tribe get older. It's helped me gradually understand the true value of the springs. I've witnessed their energy, their determination, their absolute passion for life. Even when they cause trouble, I never managed to hold on to my anger for long. It's unbelievable how quickly they worm their way back into my good graces. I'm certain Mualani will become a great warrior when she grows up. She possesses infinite potential. I can see it. One day, when I'm no longer in fighting form, I'll come here and tell stories to all the children, just like those warriors did for me.
I don't know if this is like a memory, a daydream, a ghost.
So, you better get busy, Pyro Archon, or I'll end up running out of stories.
Like, this seems to be essentially the Pyro Archon cognitive world, for lack of a better term. Like that, 2, 4, 6, 8. That 8-pointed star symbol up top is clearly like the sigil of the Pyro Archon, or Natlan in general, one of the two. Symbolism!
Our nation is engulfed in darkness. Our tribes stand divided, and yet you promise victory in the distant future. The Abyss is a cunning enemy, one that I faced in battle many times. Were that not the case, I would never understand exercising this degree of caution.
Okay, so we're probably going to see a lot of slash all of the heroes of the previous generation, like the 500 years ago, because she's going through all the different artifacts that she had. I would actually prefer if they didn't sound quite so American. Like, 500 years is enough time for a little bit of language drift. Like, thinking back from the 21st century to the 1500s, 1600s, around there, that's enough for a little bit of a difference. It wouldn't be totally unintelligible, but there would definitely be a lot of different words, a little bit different grammar and mannerisms, and absolutely 1000% it would not be the same accent. Obviously, that's something that they wouldn't do unless they really gave thought to it, though.
My rage will never know absolution, and my power will no longer aid you in victory. But you came to me because you knew you could convince me with just a single sentence. I understand your choice. The heroes of today will forge the path ahead with blood and fire. Just remember to earn us the victory we are owed. Otherwise, rest assured, I'll find a way to collect the debt. For Natlan.
So, you're gonna head 500 years in the future to serve as the Pyro Archon again?
Okay, so these are like actual memories, not just the ghosts of these people then. It's like these are the conversations that she had about 500 years ago before she ended her time early. Fair enough, she would kind of know to go on a little bit of a farewell tour then.
But what about the you from right now? You're just gonna die?
You can't ask her those questions and expect her to answer, my dear. The decision is hers to make, and she deserves our support. We will do everything we can to rebuild the tribes. Don't you worry. Even across time, we will all do our part to fight for Natlan's future.
Yeah, Mom's right. We'll always believe in you, sis.
Forgot that those were her family members.
No, seriously though, Dad should be here. Where is he?
I imagine he didn't know what to say, so he chose not to come at all. Don't take it to heart, my dear. That's just who he is. Just remember, no matter what happens in the future, we will always love you.
I'll come find you one day.
Given this game, I could believe that, actually. Is, like, Kachina your reincarnation or something?
I know I can't live that long, but I'll think of something.
What is your ancient name, actually? Like, you're totally gonna have one. Or are you just gonna come back as a ghost?
There has to be a way for us to meet again one day. If there's an answer out there somewhere, I'm gonna find it.
Well, the good news is that given Tevat, there's like 10 different ways for that to happen, so sure, try. Go ahead.
So, don't forget about me.
Despite my snark, this is actually a nicely touching scene, by the way. Maybe not as much as they intended, but effective nonetheless.
If that's your decision, then you have my full support, Archon.
May our children live to see such a lovely son.
For Natlan!
No one fights alone. The rules are my legacy. They shall grant us the strength to overcome the next tragedy.
War forged the 6 tribes, taught us how to fight, instilled in us what it means to love.
Who will be the one to bring this to an end?
We are the inheritors of memory and legend. Those who grew alongside sun and wind. Those who forged our own destiny and future. That is Natlan's fire. The lifeblood of our nation.
I was trying to be all silent and cool, and they put me in the wrong direction. Thought it'd be over there. Oh. Right. The glowing trail of golden sparkles. Probably should have realized to follow that. I feel like there was probably a faster way to do this. No, no, not that. Well, it technically worked. Ow.
Hey, Koichi! You here for the victory feast too?
Oh, no. I knew Chaska would be here, so I just came to deliver some medicine. I was about to leave, actually. No, it's not that I don't want to celebrate Kachina and the others. I'm so glad she made it back. It's just... well, I'll make things awkward if I'm around my sister right now.
Ah, well, you two had a fight, so Paimon can understand.
She didn't cause any trouble during your trip, right?
Of course not.
Yeah, she was super helpful. She gave us a lot of useful information about the Abyss.
That's good. That's all I needed to know.
Is there a reason you asked? You were pretty outspoken when we first met, but now it's like you're holding something back.
You can tell us anything. Please tell us anything.
Maybe it seemed unreasonable, picking that fight with her before you left, but I did it for a reason. Her impulse to fight is extremely strong. Her mental strength helps her rein it in, but she still loses control sometimes. I had no idea what you might face in the Night Kingdom, so I didn't want to take any chances.
So what you're saying is...
Bad time to take a sip of tea. you deliberately provoked her so she'd take that impulse out on you?
Okay, so maybe it sounds a little stupid, but it works pretty well. It helps her keep her cool for a little while, at least.
Have you explained this to her, that that is a thing you do, or is it just like you occasionally argue with your sister, and from her perspective, you're just being an asshole?
Anyway, I'm just glad you were able to make it back safe and sound. That's all I wanted.
But do you really have to go that far? Can't you just talk it out?
No way. Chaska never opens up about her own pain, especially to her family. She can't learn about this, or it'll be even harder to help her.
Oh, so she does just think you're an asshole. Okay. Thanks for confiding in us.
I appreciate the understanding, and don't worry. I'll find a way to help her ease this burden. Anyway, I need to get going. Enjoy the celebration. Oh, and if you ever need a doctor, you know who to find.
Huh.
She teleported.
There was a deeper reason behind their arguing.
They're trying to look out for each other in their own way.
In the end, it's all the Abyss's fault. Paimon's had enough of them.
Yeah, I don't think there's really anything to do out here at the moment. Thank you, sir. Can we sit down to eat now? You've been doing this for a half an hour.
Let's give a huge round of applause to our brave young warrior, Kachina!
Woohoo! Well done, Kachina. Thank you, everyone. I'm so glad I finally made it.
Back to life. I'm sure being dead sucked.
I always knew you could do it. With so much potential at your age, you have a great future ahead of you.
You're one to talk. Don't think I didn't know you were the first person to abandon your team. I'll be dealing with you when we get back.
I had no choice. My friend invited me. I couldn't just say no.
Oh, really? So you weren't just trying to get ahead in the first round?
I wasn't, I swear. I just happened to find that bearer injured in the wild, so I stopped to bandage his wounds.
Are we supposed to care about you?
When he insisted on repaying the favor, what was I supposed to do? I'm just one person. I figured Kachina would have no trouble replacing me.
Wait, were you on Kachina's team? If this was in the first round, like once the team round started, we know that her team was Muelani and herself.
But the fact of the matter is that after your departure, everyone else started thinking about swapping teams too.
Was there a round before the team round or something?
I'm really sorry, Kachina. It was wrong of us to abandon you like that.
It's amazing that you still made it all the way through to the Night Warden Wars. That's the highest honor.
So, what about you guys? Did you make it far?
Our team captain drank too much the night before the competition and turned up late to the stadium on the day. We got disqualified.
Serves you all right. No sympathy from me.
What a great chief!
Alright. There's no need to be like that, Uncle Pakal. Dear friends, I'd like to say a few words. Firstly, I'm grateful to my friends and our great Archon for helping to bring me back.
Roy just kind of glancing over the fact that she died and was resurrected. That's less of a, I would like to express my gratitude, and more, oh fuck, I can't believe I got back, thank you!
This traveler and her companion Paimon are some of the strongest people I've ever met. If they were allowed to participate in the pilgrimage, I have no doubt that they'd win the whole thing.
Yeah, we tried, we got denied. Hey, Archon, can we do the next one by any chance?
They've agreed to let me learn from them. With their help, I believe I can become even stronger still. And let's not forget my good friends, Moalani, Chaska, Kanich, and Ayan-san. They all helped the Traveler and Paimon figure out a way to bring me back from the Night Kingdom. They too deserve to be called our heroes, so please give another round of applause for them. Thank you so much.
Well said!
I'll drink to that.
How does it feel being a hero, Kachina?
Well, technically she's not, because hero is an actual classification that we have now. But, yeah, whatever.
To be honest, it's a bit overwhelming. It all just feels so surreal.
Well, you better get used to it. Next up, undefeated champion!
That way I'll also become a champion coach.
Hey, please don't make fun of me.
This is clearly the cooldown at the end of the version update, so I guess let's talk to people.
My apologies. I knew more than I let on.
I guess the Pyro Archon filled you in that we're in on it now.
Everything comes at a price, and most heroes aren't people who set out to become a hero. If you cling too tightly to your goal, you end up losing things that are far more precious. But in any case, we're now on the same page. I wonder how long before the two final heroes appear. From the Flower Feather Clan and the Masters of the Night Wind.
Well, if I had any memory of who actually belonged to which clan, I might be able to tell you. Is that comfortable for you? These things walk bipedally most of the time, so I guess that would be not terrible. Based on that body structure, I feel like that'd be real uncomfortable, though. Out of the way, side characters. Oh, hey, chest. Cool. Ah, there you are. Yeah, I'm expecting you to be one of the heroes, I just don't know what tribe you're in.
It's rare to meet travelers as strong and brave as yourselves. I raise my glass to you. Anyway, my sister's already gone back to our tribe. She has patients to treat.
Oh, we actually ran into her on the way here and, well, Paimon just thinks she really cares about you.
Yeah, I'm planning on visiting home myself in a few days. To tell her and the rest of the family that they need to be extra careful. I just hope they take it seriously. The Abyss has likely sensed your arrival in Natlan by now. So exercise caution on your adventures as well.
I mean, would the Abyss take special notice of us? Ah, hello, main plot. Where are we? Okay. Guess it's just the restaurant area, and I'm just not used to this angle. Oh, well, what you got to say?
Ah, you're here. Have some fruit juice. I got it specially for you two.
How did you know? That's Paimon's favorite!
We can't drink booze because our age is technically not known, even though it's like several centuries at least.
You look like you've still got questions. Ask away.
Why didn't you get the heroes of the past to join you in this age? Probably the Archon is the only one that can actually do that, but sure.
Because they had their own lives to live.
And you didn't?
The thought of telling them, abandon your families and everyone you love, and come with me to the end of time, for in 500 years Natlan will be destroyed, it seemed too cruel.
I think a lot of them would be down for that, actually. Like, that is the heroic heroic thing they could do if self-sacrifice is a part of your definition of heroism.
You could just as easily point out that everything in this world would come to an end eventually. But life is short. And beyond a point, it just doesn't seem real. Imagine if I said, let's leave right now, and go save the sun because it'll flame out in a few million years. It would sound quite ridiculous.
Yeah, but if we had just stopped the sun from exploding, like we banded everyone together to go do something like that, I'd be a lot more willing to believe you and a lot more incentivized to think that that is a serious problem that I should help with, even if it means sacrificing that which is dear to me.
I couldn't make them shoulder that burden with me. Besides, every generation will have its heroes, this one included. The plan could still work without them.
What? This is why telling me the plan would actually be kind of helpful. What is the plan if getting rid of the heroes still allows the plan to work, but the plan is hinged on selecting the heroes 500 years into the future? Like, is it just that there was a weakness in the Abyss when it was a moment away from destroying the nation? Is that what we're going for here?
Or, of course, without me. But since I was the one who came up with the plan, I felt duty-bound to see it through to the end.
I'm suddenly remembering that portrait in your room. Was that your family from back then?
Yes, it was. So when you asked me who my sister grew up to be, the truth is that very little information survives.
That would be right after the Conria disaster, actually, so yeah, that's when people were still picking up the pieces and not necessarily recording stuff.
From what I've been able to piece together, I can conclude with a reasonable degree of confidence that she ended up as an architect and artist.
Architect is actually kind of interesting to me because she was looking for a way to connect to her sister through time. Artist is a fascinating one to me because I would think maybe her main subject matter was like painting the Pyro Archon or such. I suppose artist does not necessarily mean paint. There are a lot of different kinds of art. Wonder if they're going to go more into that over time or not. I'd suspect so. It could be a throwaway line, but it could be something. Meh.
She played an instrumental role in rebuilding the scions of the Canopy tribe, designing and building many houses. But of course, none of her buildings are around anymore.
Architect! I mixed up architect and archaeologist. Whoops! Moving on.
Still, it was an impressive achievement, and I'm very proud of her.
So that's the life you had to leave behind.
You feel loss keenly. It seems to stir up feelings of regret in you. But this is something I have long since come to terms with. This is a war, and there can be no war without loss. I am already far more fortunate than those who lost their lives to the Abyss.
Could you not apply this same reasoning to the heroes of 500 years ago and ask them for help? Like, obviously you can't now, but originally. Or is this like a line of thinking that you only came to over the past 500 years? I don't think they're going to clarify it to that degree. I just don't really agree with kind of the central point here of what she's doing.
The people of Natlan look to me as their Archon, and the weight of their expectations is mine to bear. I must see our fate through to the very end, no matter what I may find there.
That's actually what I wanted to ask. If you're already aware of fate.
Yeah, doesn't that mean the way everything ends has already been written, including your plan?
I suppose, but so what? Don't forget, time takes many forms. The past, present, and future coexist, and all are equally important.
Okay, but if the linear time all exists simultaneously to you, then you know whether your plan succeeds or fails. So you would not have reason to worry about the plan, because either it is doomed to failure and you can't do anything, or it is guaranteed success and you have no reason to worry. Unless you're telling me that actions in the present can change the future despite all this time happening simultaneously to you. I have some issues with this part of the story, I think.
Even if the future ends in destruction, there's still no reason to give up on the here and now.
Well, that's horrifying coming from you, but okay.
And it's precisely because we humans cannot know our fate that we will never give up on our struggle. This is a pivotal moment. We are still 2 heroes short.
Because you won't give us their fucking names.
Well, 3 to be precise. There's one further hero who I'm hoping to get on my side, whatever it takes.
Surely you don't mean me, the actual literal god-slaying hero of the world.
Your resistance to the corrupting power of the Abyss is truly remarkable. It would easily make you an all-important figure in the upcoming battle.
I mean, I'd argue that we're already on her side, so, like, we're at your side on this fight, whether you like it or not.
If you agree to join us, you will not only gain my full support in your journey, but I will also forge a brand new ancient name for you.
Ah, Pyro Traveler time. Got it. Also, you can do that?
Ancient names can be forged?
They can. Several strict conditions must be met, but if they couldn't be forged at all, then the number of them in circulation would have long dwindled to 0.
I mean, what we heard previously was that it's like anyone can have one. I'm pretty sure we've heard that they can be forged before in some capacity, and it's just they don't do that because I have kept questioning that, I think.
Possessing an ancient name would mean that your adventures in Natlan are recorded in full. Your stories would be remembered by our people for all the years to come.
I can already foresee us getting a name, having our adventures inscribed into it, and then handing it to our sibling later in the story to show how fun everything has been outside of being Prince of the Abyss or whatever.
The Ode of Resurrection may have temporarily lost its power, but still, take this as my personal guarantee that I shall never let you fall. Just like in the Night Kingdom, I will be there for you. That is a promise I will fulfill at all costs. This nation always honors its heroes.
I think the last time we had an Archon so vehemently in our corner was like Nahida, and she didn't exactly have the level of authority as Mavuika here. You don't have to promise me anything, I just want to help out people.
Yeah, we can't just ignore the situation here.
Wonderful. Then I'll reach out to Shilonen right away. She's the one who will forge the name.
Shilonen. Okay, that's how you pronounce that.
We've never forged an ancient name for an Outlander before, but I trust she'll find a way.
Act 2 complete.
My lord, we've received word that the Pyro Archon has lost much of her power.
God damn it!
Although your injury complicates things, this is most certainly the opportune time to seize the Gnosis.
Victory and defeat are rules, not outcomes. I have never taken advantage of an opponent in a time of weakness, and I don't intend to start now. As for you, I must confess, I did not expect that little trick of yours to save the day.
No matter how dense the fog, as long as the sun remains, we cannot turn day into night. She could have dispelled it. She simply chose not to. You don't have much time, and you're injured on top of that. What do you plan to do next?
I'm beginning to see just how useful you may turn out to be. You heard something from here, didn't you?
Well, we'll learn about that voice later, I guess. Wait until 2 days later. AKA, like, 5 minutes or so. We're just a little bit over an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and take my usual per-hour-ish break here. Stand up, stretch myself out, that kind of thing for about 5 minutes, and be back soon. Go ahead and put you on Kazuha, I guess. See you soon. Bye.
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade, it is the last link I have to the land of my birth. This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer. Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade, it is the last link I have to the land of my birth. There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
Okay, and I am back. So, let's get back into this. Welcome back, everyone. Okay. Plot. Yep. Yes, that. That might work. Everyone's favorite part of Genshin Impact. Waiting around for the clock to animate. Because God forbid they let you just time warp to the next thing. Cool.
Things have been looking really rough for Natlan lately. There are more and more commissions from the Adventurers Guild, and they're all related to the...
I wonder if the 2 days later thing is always like the version update.
Just waiting around won't do us any good. Let's go and see if there's anything we can do to help.
Because that kind of line is what Paimon always says on the version update. And if you were doing a new version, or if you were logging into a new version, I don't think it normally has wait 2 days. It just lets you go to the Adventurers Guild or whatever equivalent.
I see. Thank you so much. The Adventurers Guild has been overwhelmed these days.
No worries at all. We've always valued the strength of adventurers. Given the current situation, it's vital that we all work together. Since we're facing the same enemies, I'll send you the intel we've collected on the Abyss so far. Then we can take a look at how to coordinate our efforts.
The voice sounds fine. I'm just noticing that it sounds kind of like the actor is pitching his voice down.
All right. Thank you so much.
Hi, Catherine. It's us. Got any new commissions?
Ah, you two have come just in time. I've got some good news. The Pyro Archon has finished assembling her forces and stationed them all across Natlan.
That sounds like terrible news.
Given how the Abyss has ramped up its activities lately, we can no longer afford to act only after receiving news of an invasion. So the Pyro Archon suggested that the Scions of the Canopy and the Adventurers Guild focus on collecting and disseminating intel. That way, we can stay informed of everything that's happening across the land. Once we receive word of enemy activity, we can notify the nearest camp and the stationed forces can take immediate action.
That'll lead to a faster response time.
Yes, precisely. This should also allow us to focus on gathering information, rather than running around and trying to tackle everything at once. So please also take a chance to relax, you two. You've been working hard these days, and this will be a good opportunity for some well-deserved rest.
So that's the plan. Whew, we can finally stop and take a break.
No, this is the Archon quest. There is nothing like that. But the threat of the Abyss is still far from over. But the less work we take, the less we'll earn.
Keeping Natlan safe and sound is our priority now. The more it can wait.
The movements of the Abyss are always unpredictable. There have also been times when it suddenly became more active in the past. The people here generally see it as something like an acute natural disaster. Once the disaster is over, everyone will return to their normal lives. We just all hope that day will be sooner rather than later.
Oh, right. Most people have no idea just how bad the situation has gotten in the Night Kingdom.
I also hope the day of peace will come soon. I guess Kachina did not voice that line.
Oh, hey, Kachina! Are you feeling better now?
Oh, bad time for no voicing. I need to mute myself for a moment. Yep, now really isn't the time to stay at home and recover anyway. I wanted to do something to help. I heard that the Pyro Archon is gathering warriors to be stationed in their more remote areas, so I came here to sign up. Do you sign up at the Adventurers Guild? Whatever. Don't push yourself too hard. I'll do my best and also make sure to stay out of your way. The last thing I want is to add to your work. Oh, by the way, we learned how to say this name. We learned how to say this name like 15 minutes ago. Shilonen? Actually, I think I might be close. Shilonen told me she was ordered to forge you an ancient name. She said that she's all set and we can head over whenever we're ready.
Wow! So we'll finally get to meet Shilonen, the legendary forger of ancient names! Paimon still can't believe anyone could forge those things.
Shilonen is a true master. Not only can she forge ancient names, but also all sorts of new and fun things. She's always got a pile of commissions on her plate, so you usually have to wait a while before she finishes something. In this case, though, she's completely cleared her schedule just to work with you. She wants to give your name her full attention. And we should probably thank her when we meet her. Well, I already signed up as a warrior, so all I have to do now is wait for my assignment. If it's okay, maybe we can go to see Shilonen together? She wouldn't turn me away, right? I mean, I hope she wouldn't.
Hey, have some confidence in yourself, Kachina. After all, you're already a victor of the Night Warden Wars.
You're the future of your tribe. Ah! On second thought, maybe I'll just find a hole in the ground and jump into it and hide for a while. Act 3. And I believe that the 5.1 update that we are currently in was Acts 3 and 4. So we're kind of sort of in the current update. I mean, if I go over to here... Wrong one. Here. This is Shilonen. So yeah, only 7 days left on this update, but it is, in fact, the current update. Oh, hell no! This is why we unlock the map ahead of time. Right, right, you live in a damn canyon or whatever.
Time to go.
Hey, in that event that I barely managed to do on time, you were over there. Shalonen, I brought the person who needs an ancient name. She's super amazing and I've already learned tons of stuff from her. I vouch that she's totally worthy of a hero's name.
Ah, yes, so I've heard. So young, and yet you've already got quite the reputation. Wait, are you Outlanders?
Did Pyro Archon not tell you that? That seems pretty important.
Yep, we're travelers who just arrived in Natlan not too long ago.
No, I mean, I was aware that you're travelers. It's just no one told me that you're Outlanders.
Huh? You're saying the Pyro Archon didn't tell you?
No, the only thing she said is that a new hero had pledged herself to the plan, but we need to forge an ancient name to ensure she'd be able to return safe and sound.
I mean, accurate, and also, yeah, you are one of the 6 heroes, so that is kind of all you need to know. Pyro Archon's just being a little bit of a dick.
And she did mention that it would be quite difficult to forge an ancient name for them, but at the time, I thought she was just commenting on my skills. But I seem to understand where the true difficulty lies now.
Are you upset?
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm used to it, really. I just need a moment to process things.
I like how she's being acted.
The Pyro Archon's requests are always difficult to fulfill, and we used to argue a lot. Honestly, it's probably for the better that she didn't bring this up at the time. Anyway, I can't argue with her if she isn't here, and it'd be pointless to take my anger out on someone else. But, just because I understand her rationale doesn't make me any less upset. After all, she must have known that forging an ancient name for an Outlander is an impossible task.
It's impossible?
By which we mean very difficult and totally gonna happen.
As you probably know, an ancient name is a symbol of a hero's sparing glory, which grows even richer and heavier as generations of successors inherit it. We forge ancient names by engraving the heroic deeds of an individual who will become the first hero of that particular name.
I got plenty of deeds under my belt. Yeah, I saw countless feats recorded in their adventure handbook. It felt like they could do anything.
But they were all performed outside of Natlan, correct?
Mostly, yes. Not quite all of them at this point.
Yeah, that's right.
Then those deeds haven't been recorded by the Night Kingdom. To take it one step further, even if you had performed heroic deeds in Natlan, as an Outlander, your actions still wouldn't have been recorded by our lands.
I see the problem. I feel like if we take you to Inazuma or such, maybe that fixes it? Like, we don't have the time for all of that, but that would be a hell of an Archon quest, actually. Essentially escorting her through all of our journey thus far. God, that would be insane and probably way too tedious.
Only memories and experiences that have been acknowledged by the wild can be used as a basis for an ancient name.
I mean, given our track record, what's the odds that we can just, like, go talk to a YAB and get them to say, yeah, sure, you're good?
Even the greatest of craftsmen cannot create something out of thin air, you know. That's just how it is.
Seems the YAB don't want just anyone to get a name, huh?
Mawika, of all people, should know better than anyone. Yet she's still entrusted the task of forging the ancient name to me. Mawika, of all people...
Mawika? I am not entirely sure how that works, actually. My guess is that the V is impacting the U with voicing or something, but vowels are voiced by default, so I'm not sure about that. Maybe it's bringing the U forward, but that'll just be a different vowel at that point. Anyway, Mawika apparently is how you pronounce that name.
Oh, Paimon gets it. Nobody's happy being asked to do the impossible.
Why do I feel like this has happened before? I think last time Shalonen just ended up running dozens of laps all around the hills nearby.
Ugh, don't remind me. Let's just focus on how we can pull this off. How to achieve the impossible.
I mean, what was up with last time? Was that making an ancient name for someone? And you had to run laps around a mountain?
You mean you're already willing to accept the task?
Well, what else can I do? What's happened is already done, and it's not like I can outright defy the order of my Archon.
If it's literally impossible, I think you can.
If she gave me this order, then she believes the ancient name is an indispensable part of her plan, and that I'll be able to find a way to make it happen.
Yeah, given the intricacies of the specificities of this, where it is a larger plan, where it is the Archon trusting one of the 6 heroes, that I can start to see, okay, I guess that I gotta just do it somehow. Whereas normally it would be just straight up impossible.
In other words, the order is an affirmation of my abilities.
Whoa, not only has she accepted the task, but now she's looking for silver linings?
Maybe that's just how much she and the Archon trust each other. Yeah, let's see if we can find some special way to pull this off. If we really can't make it work, I'm sure we can still go back and talk to the Pyro Archon, right?
The key is getting the Wyab to somehow acknowledge the Traveler's existence and record her heroic deeds.
I mean, we were there when we freed the totem pole. Can we go to that Wyab?
We heard the voice of a Wyab when we were in the Night Kingdom before. We even had a whole conversation with her. If we can talk to her again, maybe we can figure something out together.
Well, every tribe has their own Wyab. How do we know if the one you met is indeed the best one for us to talk to?
If it's the only one that will acknowledge me, I think that narrows it down pretty quickly.
Plus, considering the unprecedented nature of this situation, I have a feeling that the acknowledgement of one Wyab alone would probably not be enough.
I'm not sure that I follow that. Normally, it would only require one Wyab, assumedly. I get that it's not normal, but I didn't think the Wyab were a fucking council either. Would we need to gain the acknowledgement of all 6 Wyab?
I don't know. That requires a level of knowledge that I do not possess.
What we'll gain shortly.
We need to find a consultant who's an expert on all things Night Kingdom and Wyab. The first person who comes to mind is Lali at the Masters of the Nightwind. The one we call Granny Eats Tali.
Yeah, it makes sense that she'd be the one who is full knowledge about the Night Kingdom. We kind of broke her shit. Whoops.
Oh, we've heard that name before. We used her Spirit Speaker Stone to find Kachina's ancient name.
We also heard her name once before that, I think, but I don't quite remember what the significance was for that. Like, maybe just a contender in the games?
A person who can make something like that must be pretty impressive. I'm unsure she'd be able to help.
Able to? Yes. She probably hates us.
Still, she's older now and quite eccentric. It's hard to even book a meeting with her, given that she's constantly holed up in her room and doesn't like to be disturbed.
Order from the Pyro Archon. Open up, motherfucker!
I've heard that to get her help, you have to be extremely patient with her and know how to keep her spirit up.
I hate to break it to you, but...
She probably won't be very happy with us.
Huh. Why is that? I mean, didn't she already help you before? And you even managed to save Kachina.
Well, yeah. At the cost of her Spirit Speaker Stone being split into 2.
Huh?
Great going, Moeka. We're already off to a rocky start here. In that case, I guess your only option is to try to emphasize that this is an important order from the Pyro Archon. Hopefully, Lali would still want to show respect to the Archon. I'll also write you a letter on your behalf. If you can find someone to deliver it and mention some good things about you, then that should help too.
I'm gonna guess Dr. Lady. Oh, let's ask Kenichi to deliver the letter. He understands the whole situation and is already a familiar face to her. Okay, I guess you know this.
Paimon sure hopes Hal won't interrupt when he's talking, though.
Alright, Kenichi's a seasoned negotiator. I trust that he'll know the best things to say.
Great, then I'll go contact him right away.
Please just give me a moment to write the letter. and we can meet up near the Statue of the Seven later.
Sounds good. We'll take a stroll in the meantime.
By which we mean teleport to the statue. Kenichi makes his way over after some time. We meet again. Kachina told me everything. I'll deliver the message to the Masters of the Nightwind and convince Sitlali to give you a chance. I'll also take this chance to explain what happened to the Spirit Speaker Stone and offer her an apology in person.
I'm sorry to put this on you, Kenichi. It's just that you're probably the only person who knows how to deal with her.
It's alright. We're all working for the sake of the Pyro Archon's plan. After all, everyone here understands how dire the situation has become.
Oh, wait, so Kachina and the Traveler also know about the plan?
Because we all saw a hero of the past rematerialize right before our eyes, and then Mualani said that a ton of knowledge and memories suddenly flooded her brain. The Pyro Archon explained everything when we came back from the Night Kingdom, including the reason behind the appearance of the hero as well as the current state of the Night Kingdom.
Right. She mentioned there are 6 heroes and that Shilonen is one of 4 that have already been acknowledged.
Oh, well, then I suppose there's no need to keep any secrets between us. Having companions walk by your side is perhaps the best solace when facing such a bleak reality.
No one fights alone. I have another piece of intel to share. We've pretty much identified the person who rescued the captain in the Stadium of the Sacred Flame. Oh, that's why you kept him in shadow or whatever in that other scene. His name is Ororon, and he also hails from the Masters of the Nightwind. However, he spent most of his life living out in the wilderness by himself, away from the rest of the tribe. Huh, I've seen him once already because of that event that ended yesterday. Actually, I got the character pop-up for both Shilonen and Ororon at basically at the same time, because they showed up in the same scene. That's why his disappearance went unnoticed. By the time Sitlali finally realized that he was gone, no one had heard from him for quite a while.
Sitlali knows him too?
That's right. Ororon was an orphan raised by the chief of the Masters of the Nightwind and many other kind-hearted people in his tribe. Still, he's had something of an odd reputation his whole life. Odd,
Given how the Masters of the Nightwind love to babble about dreams and revelations, they're already a pretty strange bunch to most. I've never met Ororon, but if they consider him the odd one, he's got to be pretty far out there.
That's right. So, in that sense, Ororon and Sitlali actually have quite a bit in common, which is why they get along pretty well. Seems like they're normally doing second syllable stress by the looks of it. Shilonen, Ororon, Sitlali, Kenichi. Yeah, even that's still second syllable. I'm used to ignoring second syllable stress because that's kind of the default for how a lot of anime dubs will do the names, and in general, it makes them sound kind of weird. Sakamoto instead of Sakamoto, that kind of thing.
Huh. Makes sense. But Paimon wonders how Sitlali could be the first one to notice Ororon's disappearance if she spends the whole day in her room.
Is she his mom or something? As of now, we still haven't been able to confirm whether Ororon joined the Fatui voluntarily or if he was coerced. Sitlali is probably eager to prove that Ororon hasn't betrayed his people. I plan to use this as leverage when I go talk with her.
Huh, so if I'm following, you mean we'll help her investigate Ororon and the captain's whereabouts?
Yes, if you're all on board with the idea, then it becomes a mutually beneficial collaboration rather than just a one-sided request. Okay, he is a good negotiator. Even though I don't think Sitlali is the kind of person to turn down an order from the Pyro Archon, working together with us will help her focus and not get distracted by the whole Ororon situation. This way we can get 2 birds with one stone.
Plus, we kinda owe her one anyway to make up for breaking the Spirit Speaker's down.
We didn't break it. It was our request, but we did not have control of that situation at that point. We can apologize, but we don't really need to make up for it, I don't think.
Ah, this is a pretty well thought out plan. As expected of Mollypoke Kenichi.
Right, we do know your name, Turnfire.
Then, yeah, I'll leave my letter to you. Let's hope Seat Lolly can meet at the stadium in 2 days.
You have a lightning symbol even though you're Geo. Huh. Also, what's your name? Did we learn it? I feel like we haven't. Sure. I'll head out right away. Take care out there, Kanich. I'll be heading back as well. There are still a few things I need to pack.
Okay, then let's part ways for now. I'll see you in a couple of days.
Morning of the day after tomorrow. Okay. Also, what I get for this? Complete that. Okay. Okay, so morning of... So this should not quite be it. It should be like at here is where we should be good. Oh, phone, do you have any updates? Nothing important. And there we go. Oop. Cool. Was that not long enough? Okay, one more day. Kazuha just standing in place for 2.5 days straight or something. Whoa. You don't mean in real time, right? Quests? Yeah, quests. Enable focused. I'm just gonna give this a full... Oh, not that. I'm just gonna give this a full send and see what happens. Like, look, it's been 4 or 5 days. If it's not there yet, then that means that basically stream's about to end because it means literally a day after tomorrow in real world. They have never done that I can remember, so I don't think that's a thing. It's just really weird that that wasn't long enough. What the fuck? Oh.
Time to go.
Oh. Okay, tell you what. I'm gonna go to BRB screen. I'm going to full-on shut down the game, log back in, and see if that solves anything. Weird. Back in a minute. You're still gonna be able to hear some stuff, but I'm just gonna be doing this with the BRB screen up.
It's time to meet up with Shilonen. Let's ask her how things have been going.
Game, what the fuck? Apparently 7 is morning, not 6, despite that being sunrise. Oh, fuck you, game.
Wherever in this world I roam.
Whatever. I know I'm teleporting 5 feet away, but whatever.
Of my home. This blade.
Shut up, Captain Canada.
It's the last link I have to the land of my birth.
Oh. I always try to stand on, or try to land on those, see if I can actually climb up on them. Up, down.
Hey, Shilonen, how's everything going?
Oh, hi, Traveler and Paimon. I have bad news. Seat Lolly did not reply to our request. Although, I suppose I'm not too surprised.
Huh? You mean she didn't even bother to give Kanich a response? Guess she really does have quite the ego then.
Yeah, well, she can be also quite eccentric, though she's one of the most gifted people around. Even the Masters of the Night Wind often struggle to work with her. My guess is that she probably has other reasons for not deigning us with a response. But let's go to the stadium and see if we can meet her there. If we do get a chance to talk to her in person, we can still try to work something out.
Doesn't she normally just stay in her room?
That's true. Let's go!
Boop. Actually, since the pilgrimage and such are over, why are people even here?
Time to go.
Like, logically, I would assume that this is a bit of a trading hub or something, but I don't know that's a thing. You arrive at the Stadium of the Sacred Flame, blah, blah, blah.
Paimon doesn't see anybody. Seems she's just not gonna show up, huh?
Why would she?
Well, we tried to be as considerate as we could, but she's under no obligation to help.
That might be true, but this is still a request from the Pyro Archon, right? Shouldn't a subject always answer the call of their Archon?
A subject? Well, if you ask me, I'd say we're all more like friends with the Archon. Yes, Mawika is our leader, but that doesn't mean there's any kind of tall barrier between us and her.
Look, you share enough hot springs nudity with each other, and a lot of barriers crumble away, okay?
The only thing is that she often has very high expectations of us.
I can tell.
Huh. So even though she's super powerful, it sounds like she's actually pretty down to earth and easy to get along with.
I mean, if we had had this conversation before literally meeting with her and having entire conversations, I would find this to be more interesting, probably.
Unlike that old hag Granny Eatstily, right?
Oh, goddammit.
She can ignore us just because she's famous?
Paimon, you fucking moron!
You all talk about her like she's some kind of huge deal, but she didn't even bother to reply to our letter! Seriously, if she didn't want to come, she could at least let us know!
I guess the letter might have said meet up at this place on this day or something.
If that's what aging does to you, Paimon never wants to get old.
Oh, really? So, that's how you see me?
I know that voice. Hold on, if I want to check this. Behind the voice actors. Lali. I might have misspelled that. Genshin. Theoretically, it'd be near the end, I think. Because I think they are chronological, how they're laid out. Looks like... Chino. Emily, you are new to me. That was a version I missed, though. Kenichi Kachina. Oh, not quite. I think we're into the minor parts now. Looks like she might be uncredited. I don't know what voice I'm hearing, though, so it's hard to say for certain. Genshin Seat Lali. Okay, that is your name. Voice actress English. Skylar Davenport. That actually is familiar to me. Ah, you're also March 7th. If I played Honkai Star Rail, that'd mean something. Okay, have I heard you in things? You're in Call Me Can't Communicate. Punishing Grey Raven. You're a Pokemon character. Interesting. Oh! She's Minerva in ReZero. That character has, like, 2 conversations, and there's a lot of other stuff going on when she shows up. But that is almost certainly what I'm hearing then.
Who's there? Who's talking next to Paimon?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just a disgruntled old hag, right? Come on, relax. I'm sure my bark's worse than my bite.
Huh? See, Lolly.
Cryo, by the looks of it. Huh?
Wait, you're Seat Lolly? You're Granny Eatstily?
Yes, Granny Eatstly. But emphasis on Eatstly, not Granny.
Okay, how long till you're playable?
You must know this trope from light novels, surely. They use it all the time. The young man who's actually the oldest person in the room. The girl next door who turns out to be a seasoned veteran. The wise sage who looks like a little kid.
Inazuma was closed off and isolationist until like a year ago. How quickly did light novels catch on in the rest of Teyvat? How much money is Yae making?
Oh, wipe that look off your face. You've seriously never seen an older lady that doesn't look her age? Okay, well, don't go thinking it's a trick either. See? I'm barely wearing any makeup.
So by the way, I don't think I'm actually hearing Minerva there. It's like, it's the same register, but a different voice, which means that this actress is doing a really good job.
Did I forget to mention, she's called Granny, but she's actually pretty young.
Then why is she called Granny? And you were complaining about the Pyro Archon leaving things out.
It was an honest mistake. I guess we've just gotten used to it.
I'm sorry. So, how old are you actually?
Paimon, no one's allowed to have an age in this game.
What? How dare you? Don't you know it's rude to ask a lady her age?
Paimon really didn't mean to offend you, it's just that your case seems really unique. Oh, Paimon just wanted to apologize, but now she's putting more and more of her foot in her mouth. Really, Paimon just got a little mad since we thought, well, you were gonna leave us out to dry.
Okay, now we get just a full-on, yes, that's a cryovision right there. A little bit more adorned than usual, but it is the Natlan style. What the fuck are you wearing? That is some summer, one of the later Ascension outfits.
It was my idea to invite you here, Seat Lolly. So if you're upset, you can just take it out on me.
All right. I was only joking. I didn't mean to chastise anyone. There's really no need to take all this so seriously. If anything, I'm gonna feel awkward if we keep this going.
That was the quietest laugh ever, apparently.
I received Kenichi's letter and was planning to attend this meeting. Since I had already decided to come, I figured there was no need to draft a reply that simply said, "Understood." Besides, just showing up is the most important part. No? But, of course... It's also natural for people to get held up by one thing or another as they're trying to leave the house. It certainly was a bit awkward to see that everyone else had arrived before me. At first, I was thinking of quietly sneaking over, but since you were already here waiting for me, I started to think about how I should phrase my apology. Only to hear you all talking smack about me.
Finish your lines! Also, oh no, she's a nervous mess. Oh god, she's relatable now.
Anyway, that's the whole story. Honestly, it's not like I owed you an explanation anyway.
What's with that expression? Was she feeling embarrassed just now?
Paimon, you could choke on the tension in the air. Shut up! Is she waiting for us to carry on the conversation? Everything she's saying sounds like a joke, but I'm not sure if I should laugh. Would it be rude to laugh? Or even more rude to not laugh?
When the Masters of the Night Wind say they struggle dealing with her, I wonder if the feeling is mutual. She seems to be pretty awkward herself. Everything she does and says seems a little forced.
Anyway, Shilonen, I heard that you require my help in crafting an ancient name.
Correct. The situation isn't like anything we've handled before. Let me explain.
Shilonen explains the Pyro Archon's request as well as the difficulties, blah blah blah.
I see. So Mawika has asked you to forge an ancient name for an Outlander. Well, that would be a first.
Were they just given a slightly different draft or something?
And you've also heard all about Auroron. I must say, he's always been a good kid. I can't see him joining the Fatui of his own volition. He must have been coerced somehow.
We'll know once we find him.
problems of forging the ancient name. What do you think?
I suppose I'll just call you Traveler for now. Traveler, come here. Let me take a good look at you. Wealth leads to unending conflicts between people. Yet you alone transcend the value of gold. Baleful thunder and wrathful waves bring terror to mortal hearts. Yet again and again, you've braved them to find new worlds. A weary yet free soul, even the most verdant leaf in the forest, will pray for your happiness and safe passage.
I wouldn't necessarily do what was that all that's supposed to mean. I kind of followed that, actually. I just don't know the purpose of it.
Those are all the things that I could see in you. You've experienced far more than even most mortals could dream of. You possess the heart of a sincere hero, along with the conviction to lift a torch above your head and walk headlong into the night. Huh? Don't move. There's something here.
Huh? What thing? Don't scare Paimon. Is the Traveler gonna be okay?
Shoo! That should do it. You've just returned from the Night Kingdom, so some fragments of souls were still stuck to your body. No need to worry. I've just cleared out the last of them.
I'm sure this isn't what they mean, but to me that sounds like people were clinging to us trying to escape the unending hell of that place, and you just, like, shooed them away back into non-existence.
Isn't that kinda like having part of a ghost come back with you?
It's nothing as serious as that. If left unattended, the most it could do is stir up some chaos in your mind, and generally worsen your mood.
Well, in that case, better to get rid of them.
Thank you.
It was nothing. Shilonen, let's follow your proposal. Once you've brought Auroron back, I'll take you to see the Lord of the Night.
The Lord of the Night? But don't we need to talk to the Wyab of the tribes?
Something this important is beyond their jurisdiction. Only the Lord of the Night can decide whether we can grant an ancient name to one who does not hail from our lands.
Feels like you could have brought this up. Feels like you could have brought this up a couple minutes ago, but okay, fine, got to it eventually.
The Lord of the Night is an ancient entity that rules over the entire Night Kingdom, constantly borrowing the power of the sacred flame to combat corrosion from the abyss.
I wonder if that's a slight mistranslation or something, because borrowing has the implication of returning something to the people you're borrowing from. I would assume that it's more taking the power of the sacred flame.
Oh, so you're basically saying it's even more powerful than the Wyab of the tribes. Well, that sort of makes sense, being the lord of the entire Night Kingdom and all.
I'm gonna assume that the only reason we haven't heard about this thing before now is because only people like Citlali even know about it.
Not exactly. It's not so much that one's more powerful than the other. But never mind. That's not important. It would take too much time to explain. Just listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you. The Lord of the Night is currently in a deep slumber, and we can only communicate with its consciousness while in a trance. In other words, in a dream. But I will need to prepare a few more things if we are to hold a ceremony to achieve the state of the trance. I'll make a list. Can any of you get everything for me?
I'm sure we can, and we'll have the ingredients in about 2 seconds.
I can go. It'll probably be a long list, so better leave it to someone who knows all the local vendors.
Sounds good. Then we'll go with Citlali to track down Auroron.
Phew, the Fatui are nothing to scoff at, so please, be careful during your investigation. If you need any help, just come find me.
Yep, we'll be sure to play it safe.
All right, now it's time for us to catch that brat and bring him back. I'm sorry I made you wait earlier. It was actually because I decided to swing by Auroron's place to look for clues. He has always lived alone, and I found a broken jar in his house. There was also something off about his phlogiston aphids. Which I assume is because their keeper has been gone for quite some time.
Huh. The event that I referenced a few times here was actually about the abyssal infected aphids. I got the sense that he was trying to do good and just hadn't told people about it, so, wonder what that's about.
And interestingly enough, I saw some slash marks in the house that did not match any of our local weapons. My guess is they were left by Snezhnayan arms.
Okay. Slash marks being a worrying indication, I get. How can you tell that a slash mark is or is not by a local weapon? Like, there is some indication I could think of, like, the slash of a broadsword will look different than the slash of a, oh, what's that called exactly? Sickle, I suppose? That's not the exact one I'm looking for, but that kind of shape. And even then, it would take a hell of a trained eye to notice something like that.
Oh, sounds like the Fatui broke into his house and took him hostage.
But why would they kidnap a kid who just spends his days living in the country and raising aphids? He's only in his 20s. What would they want with him? That's not to say that I believe he's totally innocent, of course. Since he's the only one who was kidnapped out of everyone in Natlan, he must have done something to attract their attention. In any case, we'll get to the bottom of this once we manage to get him back here. I'm truly sorry to put you two through all this trouble with me. But please help me get him back.
You can count on us!
Alright, then let's start by heading to where Auroron was seen last.
Is our audio mixed a little bit higher than Paimon's? It sounded like Paimon was noticeably quieter. Anyway, that actually feels like a reasonable breakpoint here. Like, we have our next little mission, but we are in a bit of a rest moment. I'm seeing if I can knock any of these over. It looks like no. Yeah, no. Oh well. So, it's a little bit before the 2-hour mark, but to be totally honest, I do have some other stuff I need to take care of. So, that is going to have to do it for the day. So, thank you all very much for joining me for this live stream. If it hasn't ruined your life, then go ahead and do all that YouTube stuff here a million times. I hope you have a wonderful remainder of your day, and I hope to see you in the next one, where I will be back tomorrow for another roughly 2 hours of Genshin Impact while we continue going through more of the Archon quests. And if you want various updates on my streaming schedule, or what I intend to be, or what I intend to be streaming, go ahead and follow me on Twitter or Blue Sky at Peter Moxilin, or the equivalent on Blue Sky. Or if you want to just hear my random-ass ramblings about video games, anime, astronomy, blah blah blah, usual outro stuff. See you in the next one, I hope. If not, hope you have a good time. See you whenever. Bye.